Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Voices and Flow. Now, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we're very happy that you're checking us out every week. Same time, same place here on TVG. Now, this edition is yet another phenomenal exhibition of our poets, so please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Voices and Flow, here for you. I'd like to call a guy that you know, he always, the first time he come around, he try and take away people girl some love poem. Then he come and talk about the brothers them and get the girls more wild. So now everybody, you know, notice, men looking a whole lot more serious next to their girlfriends, wives, and fiancés. Simply because of these wordsmiths. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Yaradin Bowen.
Good night, Upscale. Very simply put, has anybody ever had money problems? Anybody ever had money problems? Don't lie to me. I wrote this when I had money problems. Right, I wrote this when I had money problems. So very simply, it goes like this. They say more money, more problems. Well, personally, I think they're lying, or at least telling half-truths. You see, like bipolar glasses of water, they can't decide whether their lives are half empty or half full. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just killing for a sip. I'm not tripping, I'm just saying I'm killing for a dip in this pool of true abundance that's reserved for the rich. I'm not impatient, though I've been waiting like a waiter for his tip. No guarantee, but I hope it's coming, cause without it I might trip. Got a firm grip on reality, I hope it never slips, and so I whistle while I work, and while I walk I chip. Keep a cool drink on hand, and while we talk we sip. We plan our way out of this brokenness, we jailbreaking this bitch. I keep a peace sign up, but I've even contemplated keeping a piece on my hip, cause I'm not exactly sure who's hating on me. That's just the world we live in. You think it makes me mad, but I get borderline livid, cause I'm under pressure, cooker pressure. These words are my vent, hear me whistle like Andy Griffith. My mentor Maya Angelou says the cage bird sings, and I'm with it, but the only bars I intend to be behind are those synonymous with verses. I've concluded that my curse is my pride. So I take it off and have it hand washed. I wring it out and let it sun dry enough times to see my pompous purple arrogance faded to an understated shade of lavender that just hints of my reality. This is my reality. I'd love to invite you in, but I'm not sure that you can handle this. This stress can be depressing, only few can truly manage it and overcome. I hope I'm one. My back is strong and my heart is young, and though the world may fee, fi, fo, fum, we shall fear not, for we are giants among men. Grinding our fingers to the bone to make our bread, to make our ends meet. The means to our intended ends is hard work, and so like Jack on that imposing beanstalk we climb. Dreams of golden eggs on our minds, so some hatch schemes to bring them to life, to get them to fly, while others are busy being shot down by friendly fire. We are our own greatest enemies. Cause shots fired at point blank range rarely miss, and I swear I've had more conflicts with brothers of mothers of my own colors than with brothers of colors of mothers much lighter than mine. It seems at times that their futures, like their complexions, is much brighter than mine. I hope the whole world gets colorblind with the passing of time, but I doubt it.
All right, so another newcomer here on the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Courtney Gilman. Come on, give it up for Courtney as she comes. Man, y'all show y'all love the man, oh God, oh God.
Thank you. Wow, that's a tough act to follow, but thank you for hosting this. This poem is called Mutations. Dust bunnies now cloud my mind, like the cumulus-shaped ones we used to imagine during the days that we gazed up into the sky. Just like the porcelain rabbit figurines which line the china cabinets in our formal dining room. Had they hopped all the way from their holes, all the way from China? I always wondered as a child. When did it change from careless afternoons watching the clouds to greater responsibilities looming overhead? At what age did it become a question about China's great historic wall, instead of a misnomer involving a tiny, fragile hair. Adulthood, you are a sneaky, unsuspecting tumor. How on earth did the clouds float away so fast and the cancer spread so quickly? Thank you.
Chevy Devonish. That's his name. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Chevy Devonish on the open mic segment here at Verses and Flow.
Good night, everyone. The name of this piece is Genesis. I started writing this year, and this was actually the first poem I ever wrote. Well, a spoken word poem. Life, love, compassion, and forgiveness. Words that reflect the condition of my existence. A life once marred by hurt, sin, remorselessness, and strife. And now as I stand on the brink of the present and gaze back into the black abyss of history, I remember my past. My life wasn't always as simple as it seems today, no. In my life, over my life, darkness held sway. For the things of the world I eagerly hungered. It was all that could sate my desire, all that could quench my sinful fire. I smoked weed and used cocaine, relishing the crisp, cool high as it ravaged my brains, flowed through my veins, riding ecstasy higher and higher until it peaked. I still remember it like it was 5 seconds ago, the stiff bud embracing my lips as my lungs inhaled hazy, sinful bliss, caressing it slowly to a black ruin and eventually, nothing. And what better way to compliment my hazy wonderland than with an ice-cold bottle of liver-destroying liquid? Closing my eyes and tilting my head as a sweet poison trickled down my throat on its way to give me the most liberating feeling ever. Even liberating me from my conscience, common sense, and all inhibitions. Moccasins, stouts, and the list went on. 1, 6, 10, yeah, my thirst was strong, and as for sex. Yeah, sex was also the order of the day, and I wanted it, needed it, craved it in the worst possible way. Oh, to feel that oh so sweet feeling as I felt what it felt like as the moment I was feeling it. Remember God, they said. Remember Christian principles, they said. But as far as I was concerned, whatever God resided in me was dead. Yeah, I did that time as a boy growing up, going to church religiously, following rules, doing what I was told, only to be left betrayed, alone, and forgotten in the cold. Where was this God when I was constantly tormented by my molesters, people that were supposed to be my protector? This God that was supposed to be my defender, where was God then? Nowhere. So I turned my back on this God I could not see, and from all indications a God that could not see me, and I found comfort in things of the world, things I could see, things I could taste, things I could touch, things that made me feel good, at least better than this so-called savior ever could. But somewhere down the line I began to feel empty. The drugs, alcohol, and not even the warm body of a woman could sate me. What was missing in this life I have made for myself? For years I was tormented by the emptiness within, unable to assess and fix what was broken. So I resigned myself to existing an existence that ceased to be fulfilling, all the while asking myself why I kept having this feeling. Falling to my knees, I uttered words I never thought I would hear myself say. I need you, God. Where was this God of once young me had worshipped as I suffered the torments of demons that consumed my life, wreaking strife in every waking and some sleeping moments? And finally, at the breaking point and standing at the edge of my sanity, I screamed to the top of my thoughts, I need you, God. As I dwelled there in the blistering cold of my loneliness, tears cascading down my face, I heard a voice speak to me. I'm with you. I was always with you. Opening my eyes to find a source of the voice whipping my head from left to right and front to back, but finding infinite nothingness. Was this God? Was this God speaking to me? Forgetting all else, I fell and I prayed a prayer like none would has ever prayed, yet a simple one to be filled by him. Immediately I began to feel warm and was comforted by his voice in my head telling me it was all gonna be okay. So here I stand today, powered by my faith in the love and provision offered by my God, knowing that with him all things are possible. And then in the face of my trials and tribulations, he has helped me to spread wings like the eagles and soar above my sin and uncertainty, breaking down walls and overcoming adversity, enabling this once and still wretched soul to experience his Genesis. Thank you.
Okay, that was just segment 1. Now sit back, please don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these short messages.